Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to your channel Learn Data Science with Pranjal. So this would be the second video in the neural network series. So in my first video, which was introduction to the neural networks, we have discussed what basically the neural networks are and how they mimic the human brain. So like in our human brain, we also have neurons in our neural networks. So what are the main advantages of the neural network and the drawbacks of the neural networks, and in which scenarios neural networks should be used and in which scenarios the neural network should be avoided. But now let's take a deep dive into the neural network and try understanding the common terms which are used in the neural networks. So I've already made a list of the common terms which are used in the neural networks, and we would be discussing these terms one by one. But in today's video, we would be discussing the first two terms, that is your convergence and the activation function. And in activation function also, we would be discussing only the first activation function, that is your ReLU. And why ReLU? Because ReLU is the most popularly used activation function and most heavily used activation function, which comes with a lot of advantages. Another thing why we need to discuss these common terms are that I want you to explain this diagram. I want to explain this diagram. So if you have done a Google search, probably you would have seen this type of diagram. So this is nothing but the architecture of the neural network. But how this network actually works. To understand this network, we need to understand these terminologies used in our neural network. So let's get started. So let's discuss the first term, that is your convergence. So convergence term is nothing specific to your neural network. Keep one thing in mind, that neural networks are your iterative model. So iterative model, as in sense, they will run number of times, or you can say that there would be number of iterations or number of epochs would be there. So before I get the proper model or the optimum model, it will run number of times. And since the model is running number of times, there comes a question that I need to stop at some time. My model cannot keep on running for the infinite amount of time. So convergence means the point where I can say that I have got the best model or my model has reached the optimum point. So there can be multiple criteria for convergence. One of the criteria for convergence could be that I have reached the number of iterations. So let's say if I have set the number of iterations as 20, and if the number of iterations have become 20, then automatically my model will stop. The another criteria for convergence can be I have reached my desired amount of accuracy. So if I wanted a model with, let's say, 95% of accuracy and I have achieved that accuracy, then probably we can stop. Another criteria for convergence could be the loss. If my loss is less than a desired amount or less than a particular amount, then also probably we can stop. So convergence basically means the point where I should stop my model. Let's discuss the second term, that is my activation function. And there are different types of activation function. We have ReLU, leaky ReLU, soft plus, TANH. Even sigmoid can also be used as the activation function. So let's first discuss what is activation and what is my ReLU and what. So basically activation function is used to activate the neuron. So if I compare it with the human beings, then human beings are continuously getting this signal. But sometimes your brain cells are getting activated when you consider the input to be significant. So the same logic has to be used in your neural network. The input may be coming continuously, but your neuron would be activated only when the input is above the threshold. And when I say that neuron would be activated, it means it will generate the output. Output would be generated only when the input is above a threshold. So that is what the function of your activation function is, or that is what your usage of activation function is. And the most popularly used activation function is ReLU, and the ReLU stands for your rectified linear unit. So let's quickly discuss our ReLU function. So what I'll do is I'll quickly create the ReLU function in front of you. And so when I create in front of you, probably you'll get a better idea. So let me select something. Okay. So my drawing is little bad, but So this is your x-axis, and this is obviously your y-axis. First quadrant, this is your first quadrant, this is your second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. The simple basic maths. Okay. So now your input. So remember one thing that y is a function of x. Y is a function of x. So x is the input and y is the output. So consider this red line. Consider this red line. On this red line, x is less than or equal to 0. And on this red line, y is equal to 0. So which also means that if your input is less than or equal to 0, then your output is 0. So on this red line, x is less than or equal to 0, and that is why your y is equal to 0. Now I am drawing another line, that is your green. -45°. So equation of line is y is equal to mx plus c. Equation of line is y is equal to mx plus c. But since this green line is passing through your origin, c will become 0. There won't be any intercept. And since this green line is at 45°, m will become 1. So this above equation can also be written as y is equal to x. Y is equal to x. So if y is equal to x, it means if the input, if x is greater than 0, then y is equal to x. So now if I consider this red line plus green line, if I consider red plus green line, this is nothing but my ReLU function. So remember, what is my activation function, or what is the purpose of my activation function? The purpose of my activation function was that it will generate the output only when the input is more than a threshold. So over here, if I take 0 as the threshold, then output is generated only when the x is greater than your 0. And if x is greater than 0, then y is equal to your x. So two things to keep in mind is that, let me just clean this thing. And so two things which we need to keep in mind is that ReLU is lower bounded by 0. ReLU is lower bounded by 0. So lower range of ReLU is 0 and the higher range is infinity. So there is no upper bound of ReLU. Next thing to keep in mind is that ReLU is used to convert linear input to non-linear output. Linear input to non-linear output. So if I consider this whole diagram, which I'm marking in blue, let's say, if I consider this red plus green line, then it is no more a linear. I am continuously getting an input, linear input, but output is generated only when the input is more than a threshold. Now let's see one of the major advantages of the ReLU and why it is a very good activation function to be used. So the advantage of ReLU can be understood if I compare it with my sigmoid function. So sigmoid function can also be used as my activation function, and we can take a cutoff as 0.5. So if the probability is less than 0.5, it will belong to a different category. If it's more than 0.5, it will belong to the different category, 0 and 1. But when the sigmoid function was used, then we were facing the problem of our vanishing gradient descent. So if you are using the sigmoid, you will have a problem of vanishing gradient descent. So I'm just writing it down, problem of vanishing gradient descent. and then I'll explain it what vanishing gradient descent means. Vanishing gradient descent. You have a problem of vanishing gradient descent. So over here I have drawn the sigmoid function. The above diagram is the sigmoid function, and sigmoid function on x-axis the values are going from your minus infinity to plus infinity. And on y-axis I have taken a cutoff as 1. This line indicates your 1. And this 0.5 can be used as your decision making. So this is nothing but your 0.5. It can be used for your decision making. On x-axis I have my logit values, or you can say I have my x values. So I have already drawn two regions. One region is in red region. So red region, there are two red regions, and there is one green region I have marked. So if we observe it very closely, then we can say that in red region the line is almost parallel to your x-axis. In this red region the line is almost parallel to your x-axis. And if line is parallel to your x-axis, value of y will not change. And if value of y will not change, then slope will also not change. Why? Because slope is nothing but slope is equal to delta y by delta x. So if line is parallel to your x-axis, x will change but y will not change. And if y will not change, then delta y would be close to 0. If y will not change, then delta y would be close to 0. And if delta y is close to 0, then slope will not change. And if slope will not change, slope is nothing but your gradient. If slope is not changing, it means your gradient is not changing, which also means that your gradient will vanish. And if your gradient vanishes, then your model will stop to train. So model stop to train means you keep on iterating your model, you keep running your model, but your model accuracy will not increase or your error in model will not decrease. The model will still remain the same. If you are facing the problem of vanishing gradient descent, which means that your model will take very huge amount of time to reach the optimum point, or very huge amount of time would be taken for model to get converged. So that is the problem if you use your sigmoid function. But if I compare it with my ReLU function, then I do not see any problem of vanishing gradient descent, because on this green line the gradient will never vanish. And the another advantage of ReLU is that x is equal to y. You get to know which neurons are being used. So I'll end this knowledge video over here, and in my next knowledge video we will see what is our leaky ReLU soft plus tanh, and then followed by that we will see what is the cost function, gradient descent, and all those things. So once we have discussed all these common terminologies, then we would be able to understand our neural network and how actually the network works and how actually the network gets trained. So thank you everyone for watching the video, and I hope people have enjoyed this video. Hope to see you soon in my next video. Till that time, happy learning.